and Morris was in that class. And then they had an older daughter named Munir, and she was through. She'd been through school for 2 or 3 years, and she wasn't any older than I was. And but I guess her dad was. I've heard them talk about about. I guess he was kind of rough on her about that. And she was in college up in Indiana all the time, and she'd come home for Christmas, and but we saw her, briefly at the time. But
now, how were the Ragsdales paid? Were they paid by a county school system, or were they paid by the families of the students? How were they
no,
paid?
I think the county paid for them. Mm-hmm. It's just like I told Nell one time. I said that the state only educated its children by providing a building and a teacher, and that's just about the way it was. And the rest of it was up to the students, and especially, and so I think, and imagine he got $200 a month. Mr. Razor got $200 a month, and was that it? I don't know. And Ms. Razor, she didn't get that much. She taught it, and I think, and they built that house that down there, where, who lives in that house?
I don't know, but it's across the road from where Joyce Moore built.
Oh, okay. So it's not there now. But
yes, the house is there.
Yeah.
It's the house where his brother J.F. lived, right? Or his brother A.B. lived. A.B., his older brother. That's right, yeah. Joyce came back here from elsewhere and built a house in A.B. Yes, I knew A.B. He was my middle school principal or my junior high principal. Yes, I thought a lot of him. Yes.
Well,
and he graduated from Heath.
That was
too.
Anderson.
Mm-hmm. Anderson, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he was still, he hadn't gotten into high school yet when I left. But anyway, Morris lived there.
But they built that house then, and the Records live there today. Angie and Keith Record live there today.
Well, Mr. and Ms. Riggs, there was an old house up there, and they had to finish their schooling in the summer. They taught at Heath. This was long before I knew anything about it. They taught it, but were teaching at Heath, and in the summer they go up to Indiana to school. And the year that I started, Mr. Razor, I guess, had got his last year of schooling in. And sometime somehow they had built their house there though, and maybe they built it the next summer. I'm not sure, but yeah, they did. They built it the next summer. And Mr. Razor raised a corn crop. He didn't have to go to school, and he raised a corn crop. And they pulled the old house off to the side, and he put all his corn, gathered his corn, and put in the old house. And we were in that study in the recitation room one morning, and when the kids come in and said to Ms. Razor, says, "Your house is burning up." Well, of course, all the kids just flew down there the day before Thanksgiving. We were going to be out for the rest of the week. And we all tore off down there. And some of the boys got up on the roof, and there was a pump out the back door. And there was fire falling all around out there. And there was a lights, and there was a tank out there. It was more modern, and that's the first modern house there was. A tank and give them lights and heat and everything. I don't know how it was, but anyhow. And Mr. Razor I could see him yet out there. He was worried, but he couldn't much he could do. He was kind of standing out there with that tank. Well, the boys stayed up on the roof, and the ones that pumped, somebody would hand them a bucket of water, and they'd pour water on that roof, and the fire falling all around them, the ones down below, and a lot of us got in there and took the furniture out. And I remember when I went home, there was books and there was music. And I had to go home. That's one of the years that I drove by myself. And I often thought about that everybody left. If everybody left, that was the awfulest mess out there in front of that house.
But the house didn't burn down because you all helped to save it.
Miss Razor got up and thanked the school. She said it hadn't been school hadn't been going on, that house would have gone, and it would have too. But anyhow, we took all the furniture out. They had that to
And all
see
their
that.
items of value. Well, now, to graduate, you did not have to take a test, an ending test, just a test to qualify to get into high school.
Yeah.
And you took that in the city, like in Paducah?
We had to go and stay over a weekend, like a Friday and Saturday.
To take that test.
And I don't know when they stopped that.
I had to take it in 20.
You had to take it. Lyle said, I asked Lyle one day, and he said he had to too.
Where was the board office? Where was the school board?
We went to courthouse.
County court.
That's where I went for the test.
Well, there wasn't any cars when I started. The Allistons across from from Taps, they had a Model T, and there was another man there. They had I think a Model T. They didn't live there very long, but Gandhi knew him, I didn't, and we worked all day Friday on that test. Of course, it was an old-fashioned test where you waited till everybody got through, and it would come Saturday, and it got dark, and Gandhi and I was going to have to go out on the train, go home on the train, and actually, I don't think either one of us knew how to get to the depot.